Well, you see, so we are nothing to do, like, you can't afford this construction time and the service.
So it is not for Francis Xavier also. It's not for him.
Say what you have. What Goa are you from?
I'm from Santa Cruz. And the doctor says that you have to come in time. So what has to be done? Every time you come like this, and my friend, so I think I go and make a list of other it doesn't make sense. It's my second language French because I did not go for Portuguese. I know grammatical French, but it doesn't have language to skills.
You're directing stories on
Like
cultural
beautiful,
stories.
like beautiful magazine. Get some articles. So you must get hold of a Pakka Goan who tries to inform and give some more information about Goa. Because like big hotels come down in Goa, like Leela's and all, they don't know the tradition.
Go slightly slow.
Yeah. That's okay?
Yeah.
There is a house on the other side. That house is an old house. This one.
Put your finger down.
Which side?
This one. Left, right side.
Right? I can't shoot now the right side.
Yeah.
Because,
Because of the light.
no, not because of the light. It will look like we're going in the wrong direction.
I see.
We're moving from left to right now. When I take the right side, it will look like I'm moving from right to left. On film, it will look wrong.
Acha, I see.
Are you getting the river and the barge, the ferry?
Sit away na right. Yeah, I'm getting.
I can already see the spire, the truck.
रोल चल रहा है ना?
Yeah.
Look out from the other window.
So I will actually look at some objects. Real.
Come slightly forward. Yeah. Sit, come to your this side. ये थर्मोकोल नीचे कर देगा प्रकाश. Putul, move out. नीचे नीचे नीचे.
Leg. Well, sir, we are almost in Olgoa now. 30 seconds to go.
Yeah.
30 seconds to go.
30 seconds.
To go to Olgoa. Okay. Monica, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
उधर से लेफ्ट पे चलिएगा.
Should I stop here?
Rolling. Ask him to come.
Really?
Yeah.
Come, please.
पुतल वो इधर तक आएंगे क्या? मैं पेन दे दूँ साथ में. हाँ.
Pan करोगे wide में?
हाँ. थोड़ा सा शॉट ले लेंगे. रोलिंग. कॉल राकेश हटो.
Keep your shadow out, huh? Come, please. Come.
कट किया मैंने.
Please come. Please come. Okay, that's enough. You can come.
रोलिंग।
मिस्टर मोहम्मद, आप हमें बताइए कि यहाँ जो एक्सकवेशन चल रहा है वो किस किस्म का है, किस टाइप का एक्सकवेशन है?
Basically, we have two methods of excavation. One is the method which we are following in prehistoric and historic areas, where there will be the formation of layers will be there because of the due to the falling of the debris and other things. But here in there is, I mean, for example, you can see the Dholavira, Kalibanga, Harappa. In all these places, we have been following the same kind of layer method. But here in medieval excavation, we follow a different method in Hampi, in Fatehpur Sikri, even here in Goa also. Because the entire thing is because of the collapse of its own buildings. So here we cannot follow that kind of layer system. That is the basic difference which we have from the other excavations.
रोलिंग।
आप बताइए किस किस्म का एक्सकवेशन यहाँ पर चल रहा है?
एक्सकेवेशन वैसे दो तरह की है। एक तो प्री हिस्टोरिक एंड हिस्टोरिक प्लेसेस में हम लोग एक किस्म के एक्सकेवेशन मेथड फॉलो करते हैं और मेडिवल प्लेसेस में दूसरे तरह के एक्सकेवेशन मेथड फॉलो करते हैं। तो प्री हिस्टोरिक एंड हिस्टोरिक जगह में उसका फॉर्मेशन ऑफ लेयर्स विल बी देयर और वो हर पीरियड को इट इंडिकेट्स ए डिफरेंट पीरियड ऑफ ए पर्टिकुलर टाइम. So there you can divide one period from another period, one time bracket from another time bracket. But here, I mean, the whole thing has happened because of the collapse of the structure, where we cannot follow that kind of system. So we are, I mean, just clearing the debris here and recording all other antiquities also.
रोलिंग।
ये एक्सकवेशन कब शुरू हुआ और कैसे इसकी प्लानिंग की गई, आप जरा बताएंगे?
ये एक्सकेवेशन 1989 से शुरू किया है क्योंकि काफ़ी सालों से लोगों को पता नहीं था ये सेंट अगस्टिन चर्च के पीछे क्या है, इसके ऊपर क्या डबरी क्या क्या है. तो 1989 से आर्कियोलॉजिकल सर्वे ऑफ इंडिया ने ये पूरा निकालने का और इसका प्लानिंग निकालने का एक प्रोग्राम शुरू किया. उसके तहत जो ना काम शुरू किया और ये सारे जितने भी डबरी आप जो देख रहे हैं ये सब कुछ इसके अंदर से निकाले गए हैं.
How was it carried out from, can you give us a detailed description of how did you start? What happened first and
what should I exactly say? I mean, in that one, I mean,
I'm not implying, huh?
No. Rolling.
Can you tell us briefly about when the excavation started, how it was planned, what are the various stages in which it has happened?
excavation actually it started from 1989 onwards. उसके पहले जो आप देख रहे जो भी यहाँ आते थे उनको सिर्फ they could see only this ruins and ruins and there was thick vegetation also over this one and only this half of this tower was visible at that time and then slowly and gradually we started the excavation and the entire thing came out. The thing which you are coming, it was not visible at that time. It gradually out of the excavation it came out and then there were three portions also. One was the church proper. This was excavated first and then the dormitory, that is the convent portion, that is this portion. Now the excavation is going on here and after that we will be taking up the work of novitiate also. There was a novitiate on the other side and a college of Populo also. So this will be taken later on. But the excavation of the church itself has yielded ample, very good evidence of glazed tiles because the whole church was completely faced with this kind of glazed tiles. Is it all right?
Fine. Now, just tell us that
All right?
Yes.
what is the significance of this particular site? What light has it thrown on events in history?
In Roman Catholics, there are so many orders are there, just like Jesuits, Franciscans, Augustinians. And Augustinians के लिए यहाँ हिंदुस्तान में इसके अलावा और कोई जगह नहीं था. They had another portion than in Persia also. तो Augustinian complexes किस तरह था? What was the architectural method of it? What was the architectural planning of all these things? The entire thing we could bring out, I mean, only after the excavation. Before that, I mean, we were not knowing about the details of the architectural planning and construction method also.
Anything else that it has brought to light?
Then should we go about the Chinese pottery? But that will be another topic.
Rolling.
Can you tell us what was revealed, what the debris revealed, what came out of it?
Apart from the architectural remains, we have been able to excavate a number of tombstones of very important persons, because they all wish that after their death, they should be, since it is a very important place, they should be buried here. Among them, we have got the governors of various places, viceroys are there, and then judges are there, and very important persons from different walks of lives are there. And we have been able to get a lot of Chinese pottery pieces also from the very place, and then glazed tiles, and a kind of stones which have been brought from Beijing have been used for this construction of this monument. That is also there in different places. These are the mainly important things which we have been able to recover from the excavation.
Can you tell us some details about the Chinese pottery that you came across?
You can pick it up also.
Chinese pottery should we have when we are, since we are going to have a different thing, should we?
You don't try to understand how I'm using it. You just respond to what I'm asking you. Because you're so strongly involved in all this. It's nice to get it out of your rather than be discussing. When I use your voice, it actually shows a picture. Compared to you actually having it in your hand and speaking, we might do in a different location. So you don't worry about what is being done. I'll cover everything. Can you describe what this place must have been when it was in its full splendor?
When the remains itself says, I mean, it was a very magnificent place at that time, and there were a number of priests coming and going, and the college was also there. There were a number of students also, they were coming and going to this place, going from this place. And then at the same time there were so many people who have been actually helping the church also. They were from the different walks of life, very important people. They have also been coming and going, and this had a very rich library also. It was a very big library. Buchanan, an Anglican, came to this place once. He was an Anglican, so he was not a supporter of this church. He stayed here for some time. He was a student from the Cambridge University also. So he had seen the magnificent library of the Cambridge University. When he saw this library, he says in his book that I felt as if I had been transported into a library of Cambridge University. Such a huge library we had, but nothing remains now.
What was the architecture like?
Architecture in Portuguese time, they have been following here mostly this Baroque type of architecture. In Baroque also, they have a Corinthian pillars. Those pillars have been extensively used. But at the same time, along with the Baroque, they have introduced some kind of Indian systems also. Indian motifs have been taken, and they have been used for a decoration of the monuments.
Are there any Indian motifs visible?
A number of Indian motifs are here. Even on the tombstones also, not only on the pillars, even on the tombstones also, you can see this kind of Indian motifs, especially lotus. Lotus had no importance in Christianity, but in Hinduism, Vishnu is known as Padmanabha, and Brahma is Padmasambhava. And if you go to any temple in India, you can see a lot of Padmas here. The same kind of motif has been used here also.
Why did the structure fall down?
Actually, in 1835, all the orders were banned. Not only Augustinians, even Franciscans were also banned, Jesuits were banned, all the orders were banned because they did not go along with the administration, along with the king, along with the Portuguese administration. So because there was a feeling that these orders are becoming more powerful than the king himself. So all the orders were banned, and these people had to run away from this place. From this St. Augustine church itself, 50 priests at that time ran away, and there was none to look after the whole edifice in 1835. And then in 1842, the front portion, that is the nave portion, that collapsed, it came down. Because there was none to look after the whole thing. There was none for the maintenance of it. Even the tiles had blown out, water was gushing down. This resulted in the collapse of the whole structure.
You can ask Nandu to move, you can pan away.
Okay, Nandu, हट जाओ तुम, निकल जाओ. जल्दी out and roll over. Just be steady.
Yeah.
Roll steady. Don't move around.
Yeah.
Now it's a personal question.
Yeah.
Tell me from your heart.
Yeah.
What do these stones mean to you? What is it that
these stones are not simple stones. It has got a history of its own behind it. So if you know the right history of the place, the right history of the monument, then you can put a tongue in every stone and that will speak to you in a tune and tone that is very familiar to you. So it depends upon the archaeologist. For me, there is a very personal connection with it. Although it appears to be simple stone for the ordinary man, for me it was once adorned the part of this grand structure, which gave a special aura to the whole town planning of Old Goa.
What does this site mean to you? I mean, just give you another expression.
This actually, the site is very important for me from the historical point of view, because once it was a very huge complex which adorned the city of Old Goa, and now it has fell into ruins. But even though we are seeing ruins and ruins, even this ruins has got its own meaning. A man with a little bit of historical background, a little bit of architectural background, and of course a little bit of vision, he can put again life into the whole thing, and we can have a kind of dialogue with the stones itself, and the stones will speak to you in a tune and tone which is very well known to you, and you can write out the entire